Aries, thanks for visiting. This is your reading for 24th of June to June the 30th. And as I always ask you, I know I do, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if that's what you'd like to do. I don't mind. I won't say any more about that boring stuff in the beginning. I'm just going to start your reading right now. I'm going to get right on to your reading for Aries. So the first card you have in your past is the World. I love this card. Yeah, this is all about, new beginnings or changes or evolution, things like that. Big changes happening. I think you were going through a lot of changes. I think some of them were a bit painful. There were a lot of ups and downs going around you, I'm seeing. And I think this was the beginning of a process that was leading you to freedom, because that's what's on this card as well, freedom. Okay, I'll try and make this make sense, hopefully. What I'm seeing is, to be able to get to that freedom that you want, I think you're going to have to feel a bit restricted for a while. Now, freedom, the type of freedom that I'm seeing might not be the type of freedom that you're imagining as well. That's what I'm seeing. I think for you, freedom means being able to do whatever you like whenever you want and go here and go there and do this and whatever. Freedom to me means being on a whole new level, up there really high in the clouds like this woman, and not having to have that daily stress, that daily problem, that daily worry about, is it all going to be over, and then how am I going to feel? Why am I having all these ups and downs? Why do I feel this way about myself? Why am I always, I'm happy one minute and I'm kind of content, but it never lasts. Then I'm kind of down again. All of that kind of thing. Freedom is getting past all of that. That's how I'm seeing freedom. So to get to that freedom, for me, you are going to have to restrain yourself a bit. And I know you're not going to like to hear that, because I know Aries hate the idea of restraining themselves. It goes against your very being. I know that. But if you can do that for a while, then you'll have way more freedom later on. And not wanting to restrain yourself, not wanting to restrict yourself, I think that might be what be preventing you. That might be what's preventing you from getting that big freedom, not the little freedoms, big freedoms. That's what I mean. I really hope this is making sense, and I'm making some kind of sense here. Yeah, that feeling of not wanting to stop yourself or restrain yourself, I think that might be getting in the way of a lot of things. I'm seeing two things that you really want, two big things that you really want in your life, and not wanting to stop, settle, put down roots, all of that kind of thing, and kind of restrict yourself, stop yourself, all of that. I'm getting that. That's stopping you from getting these two things, and these two things are going to lead to your ultimate freedom. That's what I'm seeing in that, because sometimes we need to sacrifice smaller things for bigger things later on. A trivial example of that might be, something like, you want to get fit, so you sacrifice sleeping in the morning. You get up early and you go to the gym every day. Obviously, these two things, or I'm seeing that they're a lot bigger than something like going to the gym, way bigger than getting fit and all of that stuff. This is like two huge things. Yeah, restriction giving you freedom. I keep on seeing that in this card over and over again. I also think that some of this not wanting to restrict yourself might have something to do with your self-identity. I know that might sound a bit strange. I think maybe subconsciously you might be feeling as if you stick to this one thing, if you stop there, if you kind of build that up to get yourself to the next level, people might see you as being stopped there forever and ever, or in a certain place or a certain job or a certain area or a certain something. They might look at you and say, oh, that's where you are forever. No, you're not there forever. You're building something up. If you build a house, it's in a mess for a while. It's just like mess and timber and concrete everywhere and builders and a great big mess. but it's not going to stay like that forever. There's going to be a house. So think about all that. And yeah, I just think settling on one thing for a while, this is what's going to determine you know, what comes after this. And it's going to give you way more freedom. And I don't think it's worth worrying about what your identity is for that short time, because it's not based on that, and what other people think of you in that short time really is going to be irrelevant. You know, when you look back, when you get above that, when you get to that next level and you look down, you'll realize that it just wasn't worth that. It wasn't worth that year of kind of putting that off, because a year's going to go past whether you do the thing or not. So I really think you're going to have to do that, settle down, or do whatever it is. Same job, it might be the same friends, it might be the same something. It's something like that that you have to settle in, build up roots. It might be about saving money to get you to another level, and that's going to get you to these two things you want. It's also going to get you to a certain level of peace of mind as well. That's what I'm seeing. I really hope that makes sense. I know that was kind of a little bit all over the place, and this is what happens when I do Aries readings all the time. The next card you have for your past is Strength. So again, there's a decision that you need to make, and it involves sticking with one thing for a while, and that's what you've been struggling with. This is going to give you more strength. This is going to give you more stability. And again, try not to think of strength and stability as boring things that other people want. You need that to help you to grow. A tree can't grow unless it's planted somewhere, unless it puts roots down. You have to put roots down for you to grow. You've already grown a lot, I think, but you have so much more to do. Way more than you can imagine. You're going to be bigger and bigger than you can possibly imagine. But you're not going to get there unless you settle first. That's what I'm seeing. You know, if you look at the World card again, there's a purple piece of fabric, and it's kind of swirling around this woman. It's actually spiraling around her, and spirals can symbolize evolving, gradually moving upwards. And if you look at this card, the Strength card, the woman and the lion are bigger than the landscape around them. So this ascension, so first of all, the restriction of yourself is going to lead to that ascension. That's going to lead to you being bigger than everything and everyone else around you. That's what I'm seeing. I hope that makes sense. Once again, I've been seeing so many more obscure things in my readings lately, so I just really hope it does make sense. And also Aries readings, I always find them very very obscure. So I'm sorry to laugh. I know this is an important thing, and I know this is all about you and really moving upwards, not just in work, in all areas of your life, and feeling better as well. So I shouldn't really laugh at that, but I just hope that makes sense. So the last card you have your past is the Three of Cups. Okay, so there's a lot more, look at this, there's a lot more abundance coming to you. I think you've had a taste of it, but there's a lot more coming, a lot more, that's what I'm seeing, loads coming to you. That's what these women are celebrating, you know, pumpkin, fruit, flowers, wine, and abundance of everything. And again, the fruit and the flowers, where do they grow? They grow from the ground. They grow out of earth. They grow out of stability. So that's another kind of thing for you to look at. Again, that's another reminder for you. And I keep on seeing this decision or this choice that you need to make. And there are two things that you want to achieve. And one of these decisions you're going to have to make is between stability or not stability, and I just got to tell you the right one is the stable one, whether you like it or not. You probably don't like it. That's what I'm seeing. That's how you're going to grow properly. That's how you're going to get this true freedom. Freedom isn't about being on holiday for a week. It's putting the work in. It's facing things you don't want to face so that you can grow, so you can rise above where you are now. And then you can experience that true contentment, not 5 minutes of contentment, not finishing a job and feeling content for a few minutes. No, not eating a pizza and feeling content for, no. This is true, real contentment that builds up over time, that you can look back and you can really say, I'm so content. You know, I'm not chasing things anymore. I'm just sitting up here content. That's what I'm seeing. And, you know, you've got to put the work in to get there. You've got to put the work in to get there. And you've got to put the work into that stability and restriction. Your work isn't working hard. Work for you is about restraining yourself and stopping yourself from doing all these other crazy things. Not crazy things, but just kind of going all over the place. You've got to stop yourself to put yourself in one place and stick to that and build up those foundations. That's what work is for you. You know, you're probably thinking, oh, I work hard, and you do work hard. This is about foundational work. This is about foundational work. You know, yeah, when you built all that up, this is what you're going to be like. You're going to be like these women. You're going to be able to really celebrate, really feel it. Because I really think, I'm getting the feeling on this card that that's not what you've been able to do. You haven't been able to truly celebrate your work. I think, you know, you've worked really hard, you've achieved things, you're up to a certain level now. You haven't properly been able to celebrate that. And that's a feeling inside yourself. And when you hold yourself back, give yourself those foundations, move forward, that's when you're really, truly going to celebrate, you know, your achievements. That's what I'm seeing. I know I'm going off, and I know this is going completely crazy, this reading, but hopefully some of the messages are going to help someone somewhere. The first card you have your present is the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, this is what I'm seeing in this card. I think this is how people see you. Not everyone, but a lot of people see you like this. I think you have achieved a lot, but don't be angry, but it's nowhere near, absolutely nowhere near what you could be achieving. You're capable of so much more, and I think you're destined to achieve a lot more than what you're doing now. The thing is, you know that deep down, you know you can. You know you can do so much more. And, you know, again, you've already achieved a lot, and that looks great, and it looks great to a lot of other people. But it's nothing. It's nothing compared to what you can do. That's what I'm seeing in this card. And I think another thing I'm seeing here is the perception that you have of yourself might be in the way of getting to that other level as well. That's what I'm seeing. Because you haven't been able to choose this stability so far, and you haven't been able to just stop and see yourself, not through the eyes of other people, but through your own eyes. And I think that's been stopping you from reaching these higher levels, and you know that you can do that. So again, if this all resonates, you're going to have to lay down these foundations, and again, it's going to take time. You're not going to look good to others, maybe not even to yourself, while you're stopping and laying down these foundations. It doesn't matter. It's only time, and that's going to lead to something way, way better for you. I just hope that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense or not. It's just all coming out. I'm seeing these things, I'm saying them. I don't know what's happened in this reading. I'm getting all these obscure messages really quickly. You know, someone needs to hear all of this. That's probably why it's all happening. I don't know who, but if you're listening now and this is resonating with you, you know you can do amazing things. You know you can do better. You're already doing amazing things. You know you can do way, way, way more. And this restriction, these foundations are going to get you there. And your self-perception, not wanting to stop, not wanting to stand still, thinking that people are looking at you, watching you, they're going to laugh at you maybe, or they're going to say, oh, look at where you are. You're stuck there. You're not moving forward. You are moving forward. They just can't see that. Don't worry about what they think. Don't worry about how you see yourself. Just do that. Stop and build up those foundations. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your present is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm going to try and talk about something completely different here. I'm going to try and stop being so obscure with what I'm seeing. So, yeah, I think this is about a really stable person, a really dependable person. I don't know if they're around you. Yeah, they're stable in some areas of their life, but not in others, maybe. I don't think they are physically around you at this time. I'm seeing some kind of mixed up kind of thing going on between you. It might be, you know, a friendship or a love connection, and we're not quite sure which one it is. So, you know, you might have gone backwards and forwards between friends and lovers with them, or it might actually be that you're friends and one of you was hoping for more at one time. I think if it was someone hoping for more, it was probably them. That's what I'm seeing. But yeah, I'm getting this feeling that this person's really, really strong, really dependable when it comes to their work, when it comes to being organized, practical things they're really amazing at. When it comes to love, I think they might actually be the opposite, and maybe that's why you were on and off with them, or maybe that's why they wanted more and you didn't. I'm seeing a lot of immaturity around relationships when it comes to this person, but maturity around work and practical things. That's what I'm seeing around them. I don't know if you're still in contact with this person. I think if you're not and you want to be, I think they'd definitely be happy to talk to you. What I'm seeing is if you're happy for this to happen, and if they are as well, I think this would be an excellent person to help you with something that you've been wanting help with for a while. I think you've been wanting some practical help with something, and I think, yeah, you were thinking about getting some help with this thing for a while, and I think this person would be perfect to help you. So if you know who this is, yeah, I'm sure they'd be happy to help you. That's what I'm seeing. They'd be happy to be a friend, and they'd be happy to help you with this thing. So of course that's all up to you. You might have not so good feelings around that, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing in that card. So the last card you have your present is the Queen of Swords. Okay, so this is showing me that your heart's a little bit divided still, even now, and I think there's someone who you really, really loved at one time, and I don't think you'd ever tell anyone this, but part of you still thinks about them, and a part of you still cares about them a lot as well. But then another part of you might be a bit angry with them as well. It's very mixed, very mixed. Your heart's very mixed. That's what I'm seeing here. You know, this queen's holding up her sword, and you know, we're seeing her from the side, from a side profile, a side view. But if we were standing right in front of her, the sword would be dividing her down the center, and it'd probably be dividing her heart. So that's what I'm seeing here, a divided heart. And yeah, I think this person might have tried to contact you. I think maybe that was a few months ago, maybe it was in the beginning of the year or something, something like that. I think you probably ignored them at that time. The feeling I'm getting is that you just wanted to show that you're above whatever had happened. You're kind of rising above. You're better than all of that. That's what I'm seeing. And you do feel like, I need to be better, I need to be above all of this, but you still have some feelings for them. That's what I'm seeing. I think you'll probably eventually speak to this person again at some time. And I actually think they might be struggling with someone they're with now. Yeah, it'll definitely be a while before you connect with them. I think there's something that either you need to say or that they need to say to you. There's something that's missing. And yeah, I'm also getting a feeling they might be watching you as well, a little bit from far away or something like that. I think they're a lot more caught up with what's going on with you than you realise. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have for your future is the Nine of Wands. Yeah, there's no way you'd ever tell anyone how you feel about this person, ever. And you know, it's not like you're crazy about them and you can't stop thinking about them. It's not like that. It's just that you still have a small part of them in your heart. That's what I'm seeing. And I think deep down you know they're probably not right for you. You might even think they're bad for you. But again, there's a small place for them in there somewhere. This card can be about drawing a line and not letting things cross over the line, or even guarding yourself. Because if you look at this man, you know, he's a soldier, he's been hurt, and he's part of the wall. Nothing's going to get past. So, you know, you're not going to let these feelings take over, and you're not going to let them show, that you're not going to let them, you know, stop you, or you're not going to let, and also you're not going to let these feelings show to anyone. You know, I think what you're going to do is you're just going to get on with your life, and you're just going to do everything you possibly can not to think about them. But that's what you've already done, and you're still thinking about them. So has it worked? No. So I think you are probably going to have a talk with them at some time, because there's this kind of stalemate there. It's like in chess, you know, where no one can move, no one wins. You know, that's the feeling I'm getting here as well. It's like they want to say something to you, you want to say something to them, and I think until that's kind of broken, that stalemate, I think you'll always have that little bit of them there. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have, your future, is the Hierophant. Yeah, I'm just seeing this relationship again, or this ex, this relationship you had with this person in this card as well. I think there's also something else about this, that or the relationship that was outside of the norm, or there was something about it that people might not have approved of, or they might have looked sideways at it, or something like that. Because this Hierophant can be about, you know, society's rules and what people think and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, I think some things in this relationship might have been hidden from other people, or it might all have been hidden. Even it might have been a hidden relationship. It might be that it went against something. It went against something. That's what I'm seeing, and I think that would have added, you know, another layer of stress to that whole relationship as well. So there was that again added to that as well, and maybe that's another reason why you're not able to tell anyone about it. It might be because it was hidden, or it might just be because you don't want to admit you're still thinking about them. It might be a bit of both. So the last card you have for your future is the Nine of Cups. So yeah, if you're a single person, obviously, I'm seeing you spending a lot of time on your own. I'm not seeing loneliness here. You have experienced loneliness a bit recently, actually, I think. But I'm not seeing that happening now. You know, if you look at this man, and also if you look at the woman in the Nine of Pentacles, they're both alone, but they're both also smiling. They're fine about where they are. You know, I'm not saying you're going to be on your own forever, or that you're going to be, you know, happy like that forever. That's not what I'm seeing. But this is just a time where you're going to be on your own, and I think this is a good time for you to be on your own, because you're going to have to build up that foundation. You're going to have to prepare. You're going to have to put down the footwork before you can move up higher than where you are. Not just practically, emotionally, mentally. I think this is about you sitting down, settling down for a while, stopping with one thing, building that up, working on that, and then climbing up higher out of that. That's what I'm seeing in this whole reading. That's what the basis of this reading is all about. You know, if you do all of that, work on yourself, work on everything else, but settle down and do that. That's what I keep on seeing. You know, that's how you're going to feel a lot more content, like the man on this card. Content with yourself, content with your achievements and everything else. That's what I'm seeing. So Aries, I know this was a bit crazy and all over the place, and I'm really sorry about that, because I was just getting lots of very odd things, and I just had to say what I was seeing. But anyway, you know, it might not resonate. General readings can't always. But again, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if that's what you'd like to do. You're probably going to leave a comment to say, what on earth is this? Or maybe just a question mark. You probably put that. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching.